The crowded streets of downtown Boston were drenched in rain. I stood, shivering and soaking wet, waiting at a busy intersection crosswalk to head over to the next block on my way back to my apartment after having just completed another long and stressful day of work at the law firm. If anything, I was definitely eager to unwind, and as I continued shivering where I stood, I wished that I had been more prepared to face the harsh downpour, seeing as, although I'd been smart enough to wear a raincoat, I completely neglected to bring an umbrella with me. Better luck next time, Mallory, I thought, clenching my teeth. Let's just hope that my journey home doesn't take too long before I metaphorically freeze to death. I continued staring intently at the crosswalk and was relieved when the pedestrian light flashed green, signaling that it was safe for me to cross. However, though, it wasn't until I crossed over onto the following block that a bizarre sight caught my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a reflective object casually leaning against one of the buildings, and it appeared to be abandoned. In that moment, curiosity got the better of me, and I impulsively decided to go check out this object for myself, feeling instantly drawn to it. My journey home can extend for just a bit longer, I thought. Besides, I'm in no particular rush to return to my apartment. As I approached the reflective object, it became clear to me that I'd come face to face with a mirror which leaned against the building, abandoned. There was no free sign next to it. Nothing. It was just there, almost as if it appeared out of thin air. Confusion entered my head at the sight of this abandoned mirror, and my mind began spinning with a string of curious thoughts. What's a mirror doing here, on the side of a street corner? Did someone intentionally place it there? Was it left there by mistake? Did someone intend to throw it away? Although nothing was clear in that moment, I continued fixating on the mirror, almost as if a force, or perhaps my own curiosity, was drawing me towards it, so I willingly stepped in front of it. Nothing unique happened when I did at first, and for a few moments, I just stared at my own reflection through it and saw a tired woman glancing back at me. My blonde hair lay in a matted wet mess atop my head, my dark gray jumpsuit clinging to my body from the rain, with visible dark circles underneath my eyes. Since standing in front of the mirror, I also probably noticed that, for the first time ever, how dead and genuinely miserable I looked inside, all for an incomprehensible reason. It was as if I'd been wandering through life like a zombie this entire time without properly realizing how dull, mundane, and bleak things must have seemed. It's all part of a routine, I guess, I thought. Just the daily grind of life. Seeing myself looking this worn down, though, if I must admit, was quite off-putting. But even that wasn't the most jarring part of my experience with the mirror. No, the most jarring part came rather unexpectedly. Suddenly, without warning, I saw a shift in my reflection where, one moment, I remained as my normal self, and the next, I came face to face with an alternate version of myself in the mirror that I didn't recognize. It was almost as if I was experiencing some sort of glitch. Suddenly, gone was the woman wearing a dark green jumpsuit who looked dead inside, and in her place was a much happier woman dressed in jeans and a floral shirt with bright yellow lilies embroidered throughout the shirt's fabric. This alternate version of me also wore my blonde hair in an elaborate bun. Aside from the change in my appearance, the most surprising thing about this alternate version of myself was seeing how genuinely happy I looked. Gone were the bags under my eyes and the briefcase I constantly carried in my hand. In her place was someone with glowing skin, bright and inquisitive eyes, who looked fulfilled and excited about life. Well, Before I could properly process the strange scene before me, the mirror shifted again, switching the background that was different from the one I was currently standing in. The background that accompanied this alternate version of myself was very different from the one I was still standing in. In this new background, I'm sitting in an office that's vastly different from the familiarity of the law firm I had grown so accustomed to over the past 6 years. Instead, this office was bright and colorful, with walls painted a pretty pastel blue, accompanied by inspirational quotes, along with various other objects hanging from them in picture frames. I was quick to discover that there was more to this office because aside from the colorful walls, the rest of the office embodied a cheerful environment. A large white desk took up a majority of the room, and behind it, leaning up against one of the colorful walls, sat a tall mahogany bookshelf full of magazines, books, and fake plants. However, despite all this, the bright gold name tag on the desk was what caught me off guard the most, seeing as, in fancy magenta lettering, it read, Mallory Clementine, Social Media Manager. My breath caught in my throat as I saw the job title that this woman held. I was a social media manager now? What happened to Mallory Clementine, the lawyer? The woman who spent her days working long and unpredictable hours at one of the biggest law firms in Boston. I stared, continuing to be transfixed with this alternate version of myself, unsure of what to make of this. The longer I looked, a startling realization clicked inside my brain. This woman was living a life I wasn't, with an occupation that was vastly different from mine. I watched as this new Mallory sat down at her desk, focusing intently at a monitor in front of her with the words, Dream Big, written across the main screen. I watched as she began to preview a series of photographs that appeared to be taken recently, and as her eyes lit up with joy as she reviewed them all, cherry-picking the ones that spoke to her the most, and compiling them into a social media calendar titled, Embracing the Skin You're In, Inner You Media Campaign. The monitor screen then switched to Instagram, where I saw her drafting a post for the photos she intended to use. The caption read, Learning to love the skin you're in, regardless of how challenging and difficult it is an important aspect of self-love that deserves to be recognized and celebrated. Interested in seeing the full campaign? You can view the full spread at www.inneryoumedia.com #self-love, #inneryoumedia, #I am worthy of love. My eyes then drifted over to the photographs, which I stared at in awe over what they were portraying. A majority of them featured various male and female models ranging from different body types, ethnicities, gender expressions, and disabilities. Seeing this vision before me caused a powerful rush of excitement to surge through me, lighting me up from the inside. However, though, much to my dismay, the vision within the mirror didn't last long, because it soon vanished before me, returning the scene to how it had been originally, with the current version of myself staring back at me in the mirror. The Mallory who looked dead inside, working a job she despised. I was then met with an epiphany that was difficult to ignore. I'm living a life I hate. Each day, I'm growing visibly displeased with the direction my life is going. I need to change something. My heart began pounding and my mentality quickly shifted. I need to quit the job that makes me so unhappy and strive for something that brings me joy, a purpose, more than my current life path does. Holy shit, why didn't I realize this sooner? Where has my worldview been all this time? Seeing the alternate version of myself caused a switch to flick inside my brain, and with this newfound realization, I stepped away from the mirror and continued walking to my apartment, all while thinking intently about the next steps I could consider and what this might mean for me. Finally, once I stepped through my apartment door, I grabbed my laptop and opened it, where I promptly began writing my resignation letter, feeling incredibly hopeful and confident in what I was doing, with this powerful rush of energy never leaving my side. As I wrote, each word felt good to get off my chest and onto the page. I knew then that, in my heart, within this very moment, I was making the right decision.